It's still early. Where to now?
Noise. Noise.
Honestly, this is my first time going up to Dawn Cloud's peak.
What a splendid view. Isn't it about time you recognize the magnificence of us Titans?
Well, I don't see how this place is different from those temples in the city. All they have are magnificent facades. And even though I've come this far, I'm still doubtful about getting useful clues from him.
I must be getting ahead of myself to be expecting to hear something nice from you.
Oh? Haven't you been in my head for some time now? It's high time you get used to how I feel about things. Alright, we're just a short hike away from Kefala. No time to waste here.
So the intellectual debate from earlier was too draining for you, huh? If Amphorius gets a new lease on life, you should focus on strengthening your body and stop shirking social interactions.
Save your concern.
The Titan is in sight. Can you make it?
Why? Are you going to carry me up if I were to fall now? I know how far I can go, so just hold your tongue and come along.
Fine then. I guess I won't say any more. I'll just wait till your soul dissipates completely to gain control over your body.
Wait. Who is that? Cersei's? Hey, look at that.
Huh? What should I be looking at?
Am I hallucinating? Or do we even get to see souls who are close to dying?
Where there are people, there is noise. It's still early. Where to now?
Oh? Why didn't you bring your favorite spear with you on this trip, Nias?
Nias? I know I've heard this name somewhere.
It's unfortunate. The black tide destroyed every last inch of my calyx.
How could that be? Even a creation of Georios, from their prized ores and molten fire, couldn't escape the fate of destruction?
Hey, Cersei's. Do you know a certain Nias?
Nias? No, not that I remember. How did you even think up such a strange name?
I just saw him. Nias. A warrior-like figure who was just chatting with you here.
No, I have no such memory. Could you be hallucinating?
This is a departed spirit?
Enough about me. Did Kaos ever reply to you?
Well, regrettably.
Seems like the price of becoming a demigod is a lot heftier than we thought.
Kaos. Demigod. I've never heard of this person. Which Titan's authority did he inherit?
Look on the bright side, Nias. Since we've come all this way, I doubt he'd snub his old friends, would he?
Let's just hope we mean as much as the world to him.
Hey! Are you seeing that same hallucination again?
Yes. It's still you and Nias, but you're now talking about a certain Kaos. I'm guessing he's one of your companions?
Kaos? This name sounds just as strange to me.
Never mind. I think I know what this is about. If things are as I thought, then they aren't hallucinations, but the souls of people.
What? But if those are the souls of the dead, then what am I?
Beats me. For all I know, you're just an illusion I conjured up in my dying moments. Let's just keep going. As long as I take in more sights and hear more stories.
Know your limits. Wander too far among the dead, and even I might not be able to save you.
is indeed as I thought. Then this will be very amusing. So...
Can you keep going?
Of course. I'm just... If I knew we had to climb a mountain, I wouldn't have come along with you.
I guess this also counts as one aspect of the world-bearing burden. If Amphorius does have a next life, you may want to get your body in shape.
Keep your sarcasm to yourself.
I'm not getting anything of value from them.
I would sooner throw myself off this cliff and hit rock bottom than exercise even a little. I am Calypso of the eminent Seven Sages, after all. Training would make me no different from those Helcalithist barbarians.
Calypso. She's one of the Seven Sages. A member of the Grove? No, she can't be. I would know her name if she really were one of the Seven Sages. Hey, Circes. Does the name Calypso ring a bell? Circes? Daggone. Doesn't matter. I can do this myself. Looks like I'm nearly there now. The land of the dead.
Oh, beautiful old world. Where are you now? Oh, legendary era Chrysia, return to the mortal realm. Splendid gods once walked the paths we walk. Alas, all that's left of that warmth is a hazy mirage.
Why are you chanting that too? We're here, finally. So, I don't get to ask the Titan my question, but all of you make for a pleasant surprise, nonetheless. Very well then, let me uncover the truth for myself. Did I still fail to make it in time? Huh? So, I'm back here again. This is... I can hear it. I hear it from the depths of the tides, behind the closed doors of the void world. A voice ready to tell me something. This time, the voice is a lot clearer than before.
Since we've come this far, let's just wait.
Lord Nias and Miss Calypso, are you both here to visit Chaos too?
Yes, and we've been waiting for quite some time now.
Regrettably, he hasn't answered us. The worst-case scenario is that he's already been overwhelmed and crushed by the world-bearing burden.
You're overthinking, Lord Nias. I can still sense Chaos' soul in the area. And besides, we both know Chaos' nature. A deliverer like him wouldn't fall so readily, much less give up on all that he holds dear. Isn't that so?
Yes. I have faith in him.
That reminds me. Why are you making this trip alone, Polixia?
Oh, my sister needs more time to make sure the flowers are fine.
Such a pity. Both of you have hearts kinder than anyone else. Yet you are born only to take over Thanatos' divinity.
Everything that I see and hear this time has left me shaken to the core. What may seem like a mundane conversation is in truth a once-in-a-lifetime exchange that has revealed the ultimate answer to Circe's question. The conjecture has taken shape and must now be solidified into a theorem. Next, I only need to seek verification from Kefala. By doing so, I can answer Circe's question and reclaim my body. But no, I will not do that. That isn't important. Because another one of my conjectures, one that I have always dreamed of proving, has been proved right this very instant. Fusing a mortal soul with that of a titan to replace said titan is not a ludicrous idea after all.
What are you thinking about? Is that so? You don't look the slightest bit amazed, though. Plus, you seem to be strangely familiar with the city around the Great Tree. Events of the past, huh? I was also a child when I looked up at Circe's. Their leaves and branches reflected the sparkling stars, and their trunk was like a pillar that supported the sky and ground. I stood at this very spot back then, imagining the day when I could climb to the top of this tree, because I would be the closest I can be to the sky at that spot. Don't read too much into it. I mean, can mortals even hope to reach Aquila's realm? They're a strict and draconian god. Nothing like Circe's. Reason is willing to share what is theirs with others, but Sky only expects people to revere them. You get what I'm saying, right, Denny? After all, the titan that imprisoned you and Grey here in Amphorius is none other than Aquila themselves. But there will always be people who dream of soaring towards the sky. The Grove has a wealth of research on Aquila, and that is exactly what we are here for. It's just, I never thought Grey would meet with something like that before we set off. As a physician, I should have been there by his side. Yeah, there's no rest for the weary, huh? In any case, what we're looking for could be anywhere in this enormous grove. Let's split up to cover more ground. Danny, with your skills, I'm sure those monsters born of the Black Tide will pose no threat to you anyway. Have you forgotten that you're talking to the chief physician of the Twilight Courtyard? Have more faith in me. I'll be just fine.
Danger. 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 Danger.
Human creations!
Destined for oblivion. Again. Still waters of oblivion.
Converge and awaken!
Blade of moonlight. In the lunar flame.
Yin and yang!
Again. Destined for oblivion. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Human creations! Yin and yang!
Still waters of oblivion. Destined for oblivion.
Together as one! Human creations!
In the lunar flame. Blade of moonlight.
Yin and yang!
Again. Still waters of oblivion.
No matter.
Destined for oblivion.
Yin and yang!
Again.
Human creations!
In the lunar flame. Blade of moonlight.
All things shift in divination. Infallible. Really now? This is way more trouble than I could have asked for. Or you could sit back and watch. I'm kidding, Danny. Lend me a hand, pretty please. All right, now let's get him.
Again.
What is your prescription?
Still waters of oblivion.
Together as one.
Try harder. Again. Destined for oblivion.
Human creations.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Blade of moonlight. In the lunar flame.
Still waters of oblivion.
for oblivion.
Converge and awaken!
The Black Tide is remarkably quick to detect the light of Amphorius. So or rather, the blessings of the Sky Priest in me, might have unknowingly called them to me. Anyway, never mind that for now. Here, you might want to have a look at this. I found it around here and thought it might be of interest to you. This is new. I didn't know Professor Anaksa was researching the sky. He's never mentioned anything about it. Might is an understatement. Anaksa has never been one to venerate the gods, nor has he ever found it within himself to put any faith in the prophecy. People have come to think of him as a heretic, even in a place as liberal as the Grove. Yet, it is also this very blasphemer that Circe's favors. Fate sure works in mysterious ways. Oh, let me have a look. By the looks of them, these scrolls are records of two conversations that took place in the same setting, one after the other. Sure, go ahead. The Grove of Epiphany is home to 7 schools of thought. While all 7 schools are founded on the ideologies of Thalesis, the first scholar, each is unique in its own way. Among them, the Venerationists revere and worship the Titans the most. As the sage of the Venerationists, Euthyphro has always been at loggerheads with Anaksa. If we were to place the 7 sages on the scales of Talanton, Anaksa and Euthyphro would be placed on opposite sides to achieve balance. Nearly everyone in Amphorius has heard the story of the skyships by now. Aquila's stature is loftier than the heavens, and their divine retribution is merciless. That's why it's no use building giant skyfaring ships. Oh, but I do wonder if a supercharged mini Treaty cannon could slip past their watch. Newsporists primarily study the application of alchemy in soul repair. Everyone considers Anaksa a blasphemer, but that has never stopped him from sharing his ideas, no matter how taboo. If you must say that he's hiding something, then it's likely what lies beneath his eye patch. Anaksa often says that every failure brings us one step closer to the truth. Perhaps, to him, the crash of the skyship carries a different interpretation. The firmament is not impenetrable. On the contrary, it was precisely because the skyship represented the first step toward breaking free from the shackles of the earth that it provoked the wrath of the Sky Titan and brought divine punishment upon itself. It's a shame that the majority of the Grove's research on Aquila was headed by the Venerationists, with sacrificial rituals making up a predominant part of their findings. Discourse about more esoteric subject matters in relation to Aquila dwindled even further after the skyship incident. So much so that even this scroll is completely new to me. That's what I'd like to know. What are these experiments he's involved in? Even I, the assistant lecturer, know next to nothing about them. I have a bad feeling about this. Could there be more to what happened at the Grove?
Still waters of oblivion. Human creations! Destined for oblivion. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Together as one.
Again. Blade of moonlight. In the lunar flame.
Another blood debt repaid.
This is the Library of Philia, a place where the Grove stores its collection of tomes. Other than books written by the 7 schools, you can also find philosophical texts, ballads, and religious writings from the Outlands here. Cities that desire to learn from the Grove were apparently expected to contribute knowledge of equal value to what they sought. We've had more than our fair share of hilarious episodes over the years. For instance, it's said that the Erythrocheramists once borrowed a manuscript from a certain author, but ended up returning a copy instead of the original. What's more, the original manuscript was supposedly then hidden here. Nice? No need to hold yourself back, Danny. You can just tell it like it is. Their behavior was no different from bandits. Whew. You've got me there. Some said you couldn't even find a dictionary in Castrum Kremnos, so I guess they were spared. There are too many books in the Library of Philia. Flipping through them all will take too long. Why don't we use the Biblioslate to search for the texts we need? We can bring them back to Akama for reading after that. it's so dusty in here. Whoa. Are these all complaints about him? I can already see what they must have written. Anaksa has no respect for the gods. His very existence undermines order in our society. They're probably all things like that. Why else would they call him the great performer? When Anaksa established his school of thought, the first thing he apparently did was read his own work to everyone. Are the Titans truly an accurate reflection of what humans think gods should be? Worlds created by gods are indubitably perfect, but what of Amphorius? Only foolishness and insensitivity everywhere you turn. They marched him straight to the seat of judgment before he could finish. Though what he took on in the end was more of a debate than an actual trial. He had to address every one of the scholar's allegations, or face expulsion from the grove. The first allegation was... Do you agree that since the Titans created the heavens and earth, so the mountains, rivers, and seas must likewise be their creations? Anaksa would have probably been spared a lot of trouble if he had answered this way. Instead, he quoted past instances of the flame-chased journey and posited that humans have the potential to take over the divinity of Titans. Needless to say, his critics didn't take kindly to his answer, so they followed up with a second allegation. You claim to be studying souls, yet you are, in fact, defiling them and committing acts condemned by the gods. Do you admit it? Anaksa always wears an eye patch, never removing it, even when alone. Some say he used one of his eyes as an alchemical ingredient. Every being in the world owes their safekeeping to Kefala, and this is even more so for the Chrysos heirs who have divine blood coursing through them. If he has really done something of that nature, then it'd indeed be sacrilegious. Thankfully, they had no way to prove it, so it amounted to nothing more than an allegation in the end. One by one, Anaksa engaged in wars of words against those who would challenge him. Toward the end, a scholar asked him, Anaxagoras, have you any respect for the gods? It was only after a brief silence that he answered, I have never denied that Titans are meant to be noble constructs. Yes, I'm not sure how that controversy was eventually resolved, but what's for certain at least is that Anaksa was allowed to stay in the grove where he continued his research, despite being regarded as a heretic. By the way, this stack of complaint letters has reminded me of a place in the grove. We may find clues there that aren't on the teleslate. I'm talking about Anaksa's alchemy lab, hidden between the cornerstones. It's a well-kept secret. Among the 7 sages, excluding the nominal chief sage, each has a private sanctuary where they can conduct research undisturbed in their free time. Even the administrators of the Library of Philia are restricted from accessing those places and documenting the sage's research. But with the grove in this state, I'm sure Anaksa won't be mad even if we sneak into the lab for a short while. Right? This is the place, but where is everything? Materials for alchemical experiments, matrix diagrams, and even the seal to the lab. They're all gone. Did the black tide destroy it all? No, not even close. Not only are alchemy experiments high-risk activities, but Professor Anaksa also has a penchant for using bizarre materials. Students often saw him walk in looking right as rain, but come out covered in soot with his hair singed. Naturally, no one dared to come near this place. Huh? That bookshelf over there seems to be the only thing still intact. What's going on? Anaksa is conducting research on our friends in Alchema and... me? It wouldn't have been so strange if he had focused only on Cassie, given her own curiosity about her origins. Plus, considering that the new sporists have crafted omnipotent medicines capable of curing diseases, it also makes sense that he would conduct research on immortal Chrysos heirs. But now, it seems Anaksa's objective was never to create medicine, but to identify the origin of the golden blood and figure out its inner workings. Danny, look at this. I have a bad feeling about this. My biggest fear. It's come true. After going through his notes, I think I can piece it all together now. Anaksa was carrying out experiments on soul transmutation. Yes, this is what he was secretly conducting research on. Something he had to keep hidden from others. Compared to his public speeches, this is the real blasphemy. Oh, I just thought of something. Do you remember when the black tide was approaching? The Grove had planned to send Circe's core flame to a safe place. But an accident happened along the way, and Anaksa lost his life in the process? That's right. But what if Professor Anaksa's fusion with the core flame of reason wasn't an accident? Put yourself in his shoes. Knowing that the black tide was closing in and your time was running out. What? Exactly. When the black tide came, the true reason Anaksa headed to the luminary throne was to transmute and fuse himself with the Titan's core flame. No. Judging from how he reacted after the event, the results came as a surprise. Maybe he failed to consider the possibility that Circe's would make a similar decision. The manuscripts detailing all the alchemical formulae have been taken away. His research is still ongoing. Like, what? There's only one Titan left in the world now. No. No way. He's after Kefala.
Sir, this sky above us, it's not real, is it?
Of course not. This is just an image from a projection device used for educational purposes. A simple trick. The day-night cycle has been lost to this world. So that students like you may still learn about the night sky, astronomers have harnessed the Titan's miraculous power to manipulate the light, projecting the nights of the past here for you. Much like how the sky above the holy city is also illuminated by Kefala's dawn device.
So, the skies of Akama are fake too.
You mustn't conclude that, Anaksa. You should know that only a child would expose a trick and be proud of it. Often people know more than they let on. They simply choose to feign ignorance because they have no other choice.
And they're just deluding themselves. People believe in Kefali's tale of Genesis, accepting wholesale whatever the priests preach. But we're different. We've already walked out of the firelit cave of ignorance. We have already realized that we live in a world where Titans make the rules. Even when we look at the sky, we're only seeing what they allow us to see. Rather than gazing at this mockery of a night sky fabricated by them for the rest of my life, why shouldn't I be the one to take control of the projection device instead?
So much time has passed since you sowed the seeds of doubt in my heart, child. Many a night, I find myself penning down all my theories and wild ideas, only to burn them to ashes when I open my eyes in the day.
Why? Because we'll face death by burning if word gets out?
As a sage of the Venerationists, my soul has already become inextricably linked to the great tree. Every word I say and every move I make is certain to influence every leaf, every branch, even the tree itself. But above all else, my days are numbered, Instinctively, I have my doubts about the golden blood and the human soul, yet I have no means of verifying them. The golden blood in my veins is woefully thin, and I am loath to waste what little time I have left obsessing over a hypothesis that cannot even be proven in the first place.
But I can, sir. I can do it for us. The time is right. Give me all that I need, and I shall accomplish this grand feat on your behalf.
You're right. I shall do just that. In the next meeting of the sages, I will spare no efforts fighting for the rights you deserve. Go. Establish your own school of thought. Find out what we are. Become the one who conquers the ultimate truths of the world.
Child of humanity. You didn't go to such lengths for an audience with Kefala. Just ask him a few questions, did you?
So, you figured it out. If I were as foolish as a Dromus, perhaps I'd throw myself down and prostrate before their greatness, begging for the gods' prophetic wisdom. Well, sorry to disappoint, but I'm no Dromus. Alas, I am a human, standing tall on 2 feet, possessing both intellect and pride.
Before such power, does it make any difference whether you're a human or a Dromus?
I'm sure you're familiar with the story of the Styxians. When the raging waves threatened to swallow them, they didn't just give up and become sitting ducks. No. They constructed a dam that kept the roaring tide at bay, chaining down the mad Fagusa. They call me a blasphemer, Circes. But that doesn't mean I deny the existence of gods. It's just, as I see it, Titans are simply a force that mankind has yet to find a way to tame.
Oh? If power that rivals the Titans is what you crave, why not conform to the prophecy and brave the trial?
Why stop at harnessing the power of the Titans when I can do so much more? The source of life is what I wish to grasp, to understand what makes up the soul, and to learn what we really are. Thanks to you, I've had the chance to personally verify, in more ways than one, that the soul indeed ceases to exist in death. But where there is death, there is life, and where there is an end, there must also be a beginning. How then is a soul born? That was the only unknown variable left in my calculations.
And by the sound of it, you have already formed a conjecture.
No, I have already drawn a conclusion. In my journey unto death just now, I finally saw the answer with my own eyes.
Professor Anaksa. I'm here. Her life hangs by a thread. I must ask you to refrain from taking any unnecessary steps.
Of course. I'll bring this to a conclusive end, and give you the answer you so desire. However, in accordance with the principle of equivalent exchange, I must also demand from you what I need.
As you wish.
Don't you care to know what the price might be?
It's a matter of uncovering the truth about the Death Titan and her survival. This may be the only time I can ever save someone's life.
There is no need for me to think twice.
I see. In that case, let the show begin.
Indulge me. Am I correct to say that you intend to prove Thanatos' whereabouts and prove the nature of our existence now?
Before I begin, I must confess I had been stuck in a cognitive trap all this time. As unrelated as these two propositions may seem at first glance, they are in fact logical equivalents. They are merely two different ways of telling us about what the soul is at its core. The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Anaksa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now, but that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes. That's not all. Remember how I said you were a part of that conversation too, Circes?
And I've told you that I have no recollection of such an event. That was likely just an illusion conjured up by the mind of a dying man.
Of course you would remember. Because that wasn't you. That was Calypso, one of the 7 sages of the Grove.
Calypso?
That's the name I made up on a whim when speaking to this girl. How do you know of it? And surely you jest. Don't you think I, of all people, would know if that were the name of one of the 7 sages under the shade of my tree? Don't you claim to know the Grove's past like the back of your hand?
It seems you've lost even the memories seared into your soul. Use your head, Circes. Since all of this took place in the realm of the dead, it stands to reason their likenesses are of souls from the past. The living cannot step foot into that world, so who could they be? Think about Calypso. Why does she share your likeness, yet you have no idea who she is? The answer is evident, is it not? Those fallen heroes are the mortal incarnations of the Titans before their ascensions to godhood. The gods aren't master creators born out of thin air, and they are no different from humans, because they all evolved from one. Does this answer disappoint you?
Yes, because you've answered nothing. If I truly was once human, as you claim, then where do the children of humanity come from?
Even on the off chance that you speak the truth, this brings us no closer to grasping Thanatos' whereabouts. How are we to find them?
I knew you would say that. But it matters not. I know what I'm doing. Actually, why don't we have this supreme being standing before us tell us everything?
You can revive a Titan?
Humans cannot return from the dead. Neither can gods. But all we need to do is look at this from a different perspective, and the problem will resolve itself. The solution is simple. Just like what you did to me. If I'm reborn as Kefala, I can rebuild the world and all within it as they once did. Simple, is it not?
I have news from Hyacinth and Dan Heng. Anaksa might be trying to do something with Kefala's divine body.
Kefala? But what could Anaksa want? Is the Council of Elders going to sit around and let such a sacrilegious act unfold?
That is not possible. He is indeed the great performer, capable of fooling anyone and everyone with his tricks.
I'm sorry.
No need for guilt, for this is good news to us. The Council of Elders has found themselves a traitorous ally. Anaksa's ambitious desires will be something we can exploit. What we should be doing now is to keep our eyes peeled for whichever trickery Kindness is up to, and react accordingly to thwart her plans. Being Akima's political center, the Demigod Council holds just as much significance as the Vortex of Genesis. Someday, after my duty is over, this site will take the place of the battlefield where you hunt gods, become the next challenge you ought to overcome. Till then, it's best to get used to this place as soon as possible.
Preposterous! The Christos only have their standing because of the Council of Elders! How dare they trample over it!
It's been a while. That's fine. I recognize you. The young lord has nothing but good words about your courage.
It has indeed been some time, Lord Kratos. What brings you here in such haste?
Shh, keep it down. Be more vigilant. See those duplicitous dogs over there? They do the dirty work for Kindness. I've already ordered my people to hold them back, but we should still lay low. Unless you're itching for a bloody fight to get a workout in.
My bad. So, did something happen?
Did you hear thunderclaps last night? Thunderclaps are beacon signals of strife. They are a message from the young lord. He threw a spear bearing several words at Akama.
Watch out. The Flame Reaver is back.
I guessed as much. We didn't actually kill them back at the Kremnos Arena.
I figured this is something you would want to know. We Kremnoans never back down from a fight. So if you plan to take that thing down in a battle, reach out to me anytime.
You have my gratitude. I will let Aglaya know about this right away.
Remind her to be on her toes while you're at it. That vicious Kindness has been unusually active lately. Those lackeys she keeps under cover have been going in and out of the city a lot more frequently these days. Some even seem to be getting Kremnoans to defect to the Council.
Get off! How dare you! Don't place that!
That's her.
Looks like you can see it for yourself.
We should get back. Thank you for the intel, Lord Kratos.
Still waters of oblivion.
Who's next? Together as one.
Again.
Human creations. Who's next? Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Blade of moonlight. In the lunar flame.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Who's next? Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Converge and awaken. Human creations. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
In the lunar flame. Blade of moonlight. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Destined for oblivion.
Who's next? Together as one. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Who's next?
Blade of moonlight.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Who's next?
Still waters of oblivion.
Moments, creations.
In lunar flame.
Destined for oblivion. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Who's next? Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Still waters of oblivion.
Converge and awaken. Who's next? Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Who's next? Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Who's next?
Blade of moonlight.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Who's next? Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Destined for oblivion.
Moments, creations.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.